critical minerals strategy sort of that defines the options for exploration and then legislation for the country, including continuing to invest in Kiabek and Kesek, that is our bauxite and iron and aluminium. The NDC intends to collaborate market, particularly around market of lithium and other transition minerals. And we also intend to develop a special regulatory framework for the development of our transition minerals. And so I think the issue around the need for a clear strategy resonates with both parties. We did not see any commitment under this in the great transformation plan for the movement for change. So we did not capture anything on that. I think the issue of value addition resonates with everyone, and I think the need for clarity by both parties on how the of mining these minerals are retained within the country. Let's go to the policy commitment there. So there's what has to do with the next government should commit, and these commitments are what we propose as CSOs members and to the deliberate efforts around capital investments into the renewable energy sector. And we thought that specifically oil and gas companies operating in Ghana should be incentivized. I think somehow some of these commitments here can be traced back to the energy transition commitment because we see renewable energy commitments under the first one. But the second bit has not been tackled, which is that with diverse abundant silica sources and other transition minerals, we thought that there should be clear plans for local manufacturing of renewable energy, so for instance, solar panel production within Ghana using our local resources. Specifically, we did not see that. Of course, we saw a general commitment to value addition, which for it consider seriously the need to revamp the Apostle Glass factory as a first step to continue to about identifies. Can you do it? Yeah. The next government should be investments. I mean, investments in the energy transition.
But this is related to this. But this is related to. We saw a bit of it build upon the negotiated agreements as part of the NDP's manifesto commitments. Government has already struck an agreement with Switzerland, Sweden, and Singapore for some climate finance and opportunities, and they intend to be doing that. And the NDC also is doing that in the consideration of forestry practices in the proposed sector. We haven't seen all the talk about sellable and carbon credits to
the agroforestry and the cocoa sector. We know. Let me try to raise my voice. Okay. Thanks. So how the revenue generated from carbon credits also utilized is one important thing. I think that it should be a framework
those funds when grids will be used eventually.
Propose to review a in place of reconnaissance license and make provisions for funding of Ghana's energy transition plan. Now, whilst the NDP is talking about making provision for funding the energy transition plan, we think that our proposal is just one of the easy steps that they would have taken to finance that. Now, the NDC wants to enhance revenue mobilization and create equitable and efficient tax system by reviewing the PRA to maximize petroleum revenue for development. We think that this is quite generic, broad, and it will be good for you to throw some light on what we mean by development, because already the PRA is funding our development. So what exactly is new that you seek to leverage the PRA to do? We didn't see anything on the movement for change. And the third one, no, the third one is from the government's facilitation of investment in EV manufacturing and assembly. That was our proposal, and we think that again you can link this to either a green grants or some of the local resources available for us to use. And we also think that the current government has done a bit of work trying to bring in foreign companies to establish assembling plants here. Now the world is moving towards electric vehicles, and we thought that the government would have been minded to consider getting these companies by most of the developed countries. And if they start manufacturing these in this country, what they are doing is encouraging all the second-hand vehicles that are run on fossil fuels would be brought into the part of the world in the next couple of years. And the other leg of it is about building local capacity. If the world is moving towards electric vehicles, I think these are grounds and training grounds for students in our universities who intend to go into this new sector, for them to at least have internships, have training programs with these EV manufacturers. And I think that is an important point for all parties to consider. Now, the NDP proposed to incentivize the private sector to develop waste to energy projects, which is like part of our proposal. We think that part of our proposal is because we said recycling, measures to ensure recycling and all of that, using waste from the EV batteries and all of that to produce useful goods is important. We have something on that, but we don't think it covers the entire proposal that we're trying to make. The NDC wanted to create jobs in sectors such as plastic, recycling, electronic waste management, and sanitation. And we also think that's very broad and generic and could take advantage of the EV development to sort of create the same jobs, but then also have more sustainable environmental impact. And the third proposal has to do with the government must invest in geological data acquisition and exploration for primary minerals. I think it's part of the earlier proposal, and I know even though here we haven't indicated any commitment to it. Earlier on, we saw the NDP making a proposal around Mao for the geological survey. We didn't see any specific one for the NDP. There was a development, the Minerals Development Bank that we thought could be used to do this, to invest in geological survey of the sort. But we think that more can be done on this to ensure that we improve our geological data around green minerals. We also proposed another option. Sorry. The next government must incentivize technological innovation to scale up renewable energy development and can we scroll up? Okay. By rewarding novel inventions and providing tax waivers and things like that. And also the industry must be incentivized to substantially use their corporate social spending. So some of the oil companies and the mining companies should be encouraged to use some of their corporate social spending for renewable energy investments. We haven't seen any of the parties making a proposal around that. The next one has to do with considering providing incentives for oil and gas companies operating in the country to invest part of their profits in downstream beneficiation of renewable energy and green minerals. So, for instance, in fact, one of the easiest examples we can cite is GNPC. We are looking at oil companies that are going to be stranded in the near future. And we think that one of the ways to get the NPC to be viable, and the NEC had a proposal around ensuring the viability of TNPC. One of the ways to do that is to get them to do the investment in our space as a way of diversifying the operations. So, assuming petroleum revenue drops in the future, oil prices are not favorable in the future, that would be a stream of revenue that can support GNPC, even if it wants to engage in marginal fields development like the onshore protein basin. And we think that the parties should consider that going forward. Let's go to 18. The next government should commit to establish a baseline of current emission levels for each project in the sector. So this is project level emissions, including PUC emissions. So the projects we are talking about refer to the Sankofa, the TEN, the Jubilee. So each project must have, and these are actually international requirements. The new producer group is an international organization that NRGI sort of supports, has been advocating for this for a while, that each project must be evaluated not just based on how much revenue the oil field is going to generate, but also the emissions that the oil field is going to emit along the life of the project. And we think that one of the ways to ensure that we are meeting our carbon commitments, both within the nationally determined contributions, our energy transition framework, our integrated power plans, and all of the other climate commitments we have, is to begin to have a baseline for emissions for each project. And we can even do this for mining projects as well. The big mining projects also have emission profiles. And we should be able to establish a baseline of emissions at the start of production so that by the time the project is 30 years or 20 years, we can say that this is the emission profile, this is what we have done to mitigate those emissions, and we have achieved a net zero at the end of the day because we have a net zero commitment as a country. So we now go into some of the downstream issues. I told you stepping in for both the energy transition and the downstream, upstream. Nana will not be able to join us, even though he's joining us online. Let's get into discuss those issues and then we can get your feedback. Because every so I have 10 minutes. Okay, wait. Alright, so I'll run through this finally. So on the downstream side, we propose that the parties should ensure a stable and reliable crude oil supply for local refineries by activating Article 15 of the Model Petroleum Agreement, which requires that local production from our offshore fields can be leveraged to supply local refineries like the Tamawa refinery is simply another private refinery within the country. This is expected to ensure that we don't pay more for refined products because a product that has been shipped from Switzerland or from the Scandinavians or from Dubai to Ghana will definitely have a higher cost than a local refinery that doesn't take into account some of the price and regulation of those issues associated with importing refined products. We also propose some increased capacity to reduce the burden of importation. And we know that this burden of importation has an impact on our currency. In fact, a huge part of our currency crisis is largely as a result of the refined petroleum product imports. And so if we develop the capacity for local refining, what we are doing is avoiding the need to change first cities into dollars for importation. And we think it's an important consideration. We also propose the privatization of the realization of the proposed petroleum hub as a way of dealing with the refined products issue, of course, with some caution. Recall that this government in 2019 passed the petroleum hub bill into law, and as part of the commitment, they intend to build 3 refineries and 5 petrochemical plants. It was not an easy to kick off that process. We have raised a couple of issues that we think there are risks associated with that because by investing in petrochemical do a bit of value a bit of advice on being strategic about how we invest in this. The NDP's proposal along with has been to expand the value for the goal for program to use the for the petrochemical sectors and then partner the private sector I think to build some refineries among others. The NDT some refineries among others. The NDT proposed to leverage private investments to revitalize the Tamawa refinery and expand its operations. They also proposed to bring on board multiple companies that will provide an additional time boost to make Ghana a petrochemical hub in Africa. So it's more like the petroleum hub project, bringing in a bit more private hands into that. And I think the movement will change the proposed to develop the Western region as a new oil and gas processing hub. We are not too sure whether that includes some refineries and chemical plants and what exactly that oil and gas hub will be. And so, please scroll down. So those are the commitments. I think the NDT in addition to that plans to establish the key airport that has seen only design posts on it. We give that to the politicians. And as a complementary petroleum products in delivery hub for the country and to review the cylinder use simulation model which has kicked off in earnest by this government. Of course, we require a bit of clarity from all of you around a couple of questions around how you intend to operationalize this and attract the private players into this space. On the upstream level, we proposed some investment in activities that prioritize new investment in critical infrastructure and boost in the upstream sector. So, so that's one very broad I think our proposal was to in a new fiscal regime, this mentioned include onshore and transitional areas. I think we include that is some investments through the exploration licenses using trade based reconnaissance licenses and make provision for funding transition plan, commit to amplifying approval for simplifying approval processes for appraisal and production programs, recognize humanity, and fully implement the infrastructure exploration strategy for long Ghana's offshore research. Of course, there are a couple of things we haven't seen as CSOs. We haven't seen this infrastructure-led exploration strategy. We are even told there's an onshore exploration strategy which we are yet to see. And for all the parties, we think that we should emphasize transparency around the development of some of these points. They might be consultative. We work in this sector, and a lot of us CSOs have been in this space for a while. And for strategies to spring out without consultation, we think it's quite unacceptable. And for those who are trying to get into government, if you get into government and you refuse to consult, we will speak about it. And so, yeah, we also emphasize around all of these, let's ensure that there's transparency around how we develop new policies. So, both the NPCs proposals are all the in terms of increase targeted exploration activity by establishing new reserves and building investor confidence through policy regulatory clarity, consistency, predictability, and all of that. So I think all of this is just to sort of review the upstream regulatory frameworks that hinder exploration or investments, and we intend to review all of that. Let's go down. I think there are a couple other. And then, based more infrastructure and a lot of films as well. Let's see what the movement change has around this. Okay, improve the business and investment environment, attract bigger investments in the upstream, and I think that was so. Can you okay? No, upstream. Let me try and see if I can find it here. Upstream. I think on the no, that should be all on the upstream side. Now there's one on the energy transition alignment relationships. So the relationships between, for instance, the Petroleum Commission and Channel or EFI or other creators of films that will production. And then implement regulations that will improve financial sustainability and provide to ensure petroleum service providers are appropriately regulated and to restructure and realign both operating and regulatory agencies to enhance sector efficiency, transparency, accountability, and governance. So for parties that make proposals around restructuring sector agencies, you recall that a few weeks ago, Parliament was presented with some goals. In fact, in the NDP manifesto, I see that they reported that realignment as having been completed. I don't think it's been completed yet. I think it's just a proposal. And that will require a bit more work to complete. We believe that agencies like the PURC need to maintain their independence, and in alignment between PURC and Energy Commission must have in mind the need to have that agency as an independent agency that is not subject to any ministerial directives or control. And that must be emphasized. And we think that the realignment should not only focus on EC. We think that that nothing can be that screening agreement, and therefore it's difficult for Ghana gas to be able to harness the needed muscle to generate investment for upstream gas exploration. GABC must should also help in that respect. And so we thought that parties should take note of that. The movement for change will most certainly have something of this related. Strengthening institutional and human resource capacity. I think the APP spoke about strengthening regulatory capacity of the APA introduced the policy to encourage IOCs, international companies, to back universities, introducing the APA Ghanaian content fund. I don't know how different that will be from the global content now, because we already have one at the National Commission, National Data Acquisition Fund. I guess that's where some of the financial issues come from. And then now many enterprises companies business. The APC proposed to establish stringent governance and management functionaries within the sector do not have the capacity. Most of the time, it's more about political motives and capacity.
Political interference would mean that you should ensure some transparency around how that happens, but you would be the better person to explain. Now, gas for electricity systems, they need to not lock Ghana into a gas for electricity system was our proposal. The MPP said they wanted to partner the private sector to build and maximize our gas infrastructure. The NDC also proposed to optimize the economic and environmental sustainability of the thermal sector and gas-fired technologies and phasing out inappropriate technologies. Yeah, maybe to hear more about how ECA's master plan should be reviewed. And that will make provisions for all of these let's scroll. Okay, I think that should end it. Are there more? Before Norvan comes on me about time. Okay, I would end there. I think that's all the proposals under the energy transition, domestic and upstream, downstream and upstream linkages. Thank you very much for your audience. And so we'll come back to some questions under this at the end of the day.
Thank you very much. You want to put your hands together for Dennis. Dennis has handled it very well. And so what we're going to do is, not to make it boring, at this point, I'm going to allow the response, and I'm going to start with our friends from the NDC. I'm sure, so because he's presented two thematic areas, which is the energy transition and then the upstream and petroleum, oil and gas. So let's deal with that first. And then so we would have the NDC give us their response. After that, we have Movement for Change, and then we have the NPP as well give us their responses on the issues that has been raised. As we indicated, some questions had already been sent to the political parties. So we'll have the NDC rep to come to the podium. I think Dr. Obing, who is doing it? Then, yeah, Kwame will do that for us. So let's put our hands together for Kwame as he responds on the two thematic areas, and then we'll go around the table, and then we'll come with the other two areas, which is the environment, climate change, and then anti-corruption. So, Kwame.
I would have preferred, actually.
Thank you. First of all, with this nature. But the challenge at the time was that the manifestos of the various political parties were not launched. And you know how Ghana systems run. Once a manifesto isn't made public, it becomes literally difficult for political parties to speak to the issues. Our manifestos, before they are launched, are treated largely as confidential documents because you are not too sure what your colleague on the other side may pick even before yours is launched. So we're a bit hesitant in speaking primarily to core issues that were raised at that forum. So we are particularly delighted when this invitation was extended to us again, together, to have a dialogue post-launch of our manifestos. And we are glad our colleagues